Hello, today we're joined by our board member and incoming president, Mikael Börjesson.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining us today.
thank you.
We'd just like to ask you a few questions since you're the incoming president. First question, how does it feel?
Exciting,
Yes.
challenging, and of course taking over an organization that is in a change in some way, but also is very strong where it is and had a solid foundation.
As you're stepping in as the president of the association, what conversations do you think will define the next chapter of Eurovent Association under your presidency?
That's a good question. We are in a transition period, or if you're looking for the politics for the moment, and also the kind of general global change. So, I mean, I'm coming into an organization that is very strong, and is quite reliable and credible. But of course, we need to adapt as well to the world order. So, going for the energy crisis and energy efficiency first, as EU pointed out, but also the sustainability transition with the built-in carbon, all of this kind of perspective, as well as adding resilience, health perspectives. I mean, we are working in an industry that is heavily involved in the different transitions. But so exciting, but challenging. So probably the balancing between ambition and feasibility is.
And you're up for the challenge?
Of course, I'm up for the challenge. I think we all are for the challenge in the industry, and are eager to maybe promote even better what we actually can do to affect these kind of changes.
You've been heavily involved in the board of the association. What strengths do you want to build on, and where do you see the opportunities taking you?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've been quite many years now in the board, so I know the organization quite well. And of course, we always build on our expertise, the technical expertise that we have as a manufacturer organization with all the product groups. And we should, of course, stay there. That is a core value, and that we should maybe emphasize even better going further on, and maybe explore other areas where we are not today that are still within our core. But I think what we have already started a bit to be more proactive regarding advocacy, targeting policymakers, and I think there is an area where we can increase our efforts even more. So there I would probably would like to spend more time from a board perspective, but also from a presidency perspective.
Interesting. I'd just also like to get into one of the main topics that is hovering around HVAC, which is EPBD. I read your article, which is titled Beyond Energy Efficiency.
It's good that someone is reading it.
The revised EPBD puts IEQ in focus. I would like to ask, if the EPBD is fully implemented as intended on 29th of May, what visible difference should ordinary people actually feel in their homes, schools, and workplaces?
That's a really good question. First of all, based on the situation that EPBD will not be implemented the 29th of May, and maybe be some exceptions. I think the most member states are late in their local legislations. And referring to your question, what will change will be very much up to the local legislations that interprets the EPBD intention. But my thinking and my take of EPBD is that we should emphasize that there is energy efficiency is super important, and we put demands on energy efficient, but we cannot forget the conditions for people inside. And I think what it will mean then for the people inside is that they can probably in an even better way rely on that the legislation is putting their health into play, securing that the indoor climate and the conditions are comfortable, but also not dangerous. So hopefully EPBD in its long-term perspective will visualize the indoor climate in a better way for the people who are living, working, studying, or whatever we do inside, sporting, or whatever we do, because the conditions today is quite invisible. We are That is probably one of the challenges going further on to visualize and communicate the importance of energy efficient but also healthy, comfortable indoor climate.
Do you think the general public is aware of this?
No.
How then can they be aware of this? What measures can people take? As the HVAC industry
Yes.
association, what can we do?
But that's a good question. I think we sometimes need to understand that people don't understand. We sometimes try to estimate that the knowledge we have has a similar spread around the user as well of buildings, which it hasn't. Most people doesn't react to the indoor conditions. They might react to temperature. The other conditions for indoor climate is very hard to determine for the most people. That's why we need to define ways of showing the indoor climate in a good way. It could be sensors, it could be displays, but it can also be what EBBD is also targeting a bit, the kind of obligatory checkpoints that people with expertise actually are evaluating the conditions in buildings and making some kind of reporting back and giving suggestions for improving or changes that need to take place. So it's a kind of, as you do with your car, you make a kind of check every year or every second year. And I think that will be valuable for the common public as well regarding indoor climate.
To know. Yeah, it's quite of an industry where not a lot of people know about what's really taking place, the regulations, the policies that are coming into place, the technical issues there also.
And this is a paradox, because the better the industry are in creating a good indoor climate, the less visual it will be, the less tangible it will be, because the more you will feel this is our natural habitat, where you thrive in, you're performing well. So that paradox we need to kind of find a way to communicate.
A plane that lands safely doesn't make big noise.
No, exactly. But you expect it to do.
Yes.
Yes.
True. What is something that people within the HVAC industry know deeply, but people, the general public, doesn't know much about, and they should know about?
Yeah.
Although, as you're saying, it's a paradox, the industry is doing well, some people don't have to know. But what is one thing that you think that...
I think it's probably not one thing, but I touched in a little bit to that. I mean, we know that everything we do will affect you how you actually, how you live your life in your building or your apartment, your house, how we know that the indoor climate in kindergartens will have effect on the kids. We know that indoor climate in schools will have effect on how kids are performing.
Yes.
We have not had the ability to communicate that in a proper way to decision makers or stakeholders. What we would like maybe to see in the future is that an indoor climate that helps you to sleep well or perform in exams in schools, that should be the natural way of designing buildings. We tend still to see ventilation and indoor climates as an add-on or kind of luxury kind of technology. That this should be a part of a natural part of a building or of a project or something like that. And I hope we could come to the end that this is not debated. It's rather how you actually conduct it, rather than if it should be there or not. I still see when I'm out traveling that even in my own company that people tend to open windows, for example, when you're feeling warm inside, and then you have your office close to a highway or something like that. It's the worst thing you can do from a particle point of view. And we know that, but we can. So there is knowledge to be shared and behavior is to be changed.
Yes. So it's always best to keep on sharing that knowledge.
Yeah, we need to continue. It will be a never-ending story, probably.
I just have one last question before you leave. At the end of your presidency, what kind of cultural mindset would you hope to have strengthened within Eurovent?
That's a good question. Depends, of course, how long my presidency will be. If it's 1 year or more, if I would have some kind of overarching idea, I think Eurovent should always build on its strengths to give trust in what we say you can trust. And I think that is based in our core values of engineering, technology-driven, manufacturer organization. So we should still build on that. I would like, if I can, to aim for one industry, one voice.
Okay.
See, can we align all the different voices so we are directing them in one way? And I would like to see Eurovent also moving in a way, and it's connected a little bit to the alignment, to be seen as an open organization, open for collaborations, open for technology innovations, bringing this kind of forward-leaning perspective. That would, if we can in some way move in that direction, that will be a success for me.
I hope for the best.
Yeah.
And to wish you all the best, Mikael.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us here.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank you.